How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here, well, doing something a little bit different. As you can tell, the image quality is a little bit different, and you can hear me a lot easier. Well, I am using a different recording device this time around because I'm doing something very, very different. I am going to give you a review and a rating for Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. I know I did not review the first Game of Thrones series because that was going on way before I decided to even do these videos, even though I probably should have jumped on YouTube back when Game of Thrones started, but I digress. Before I go any further, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will need comments on this one because, well, guys, I'm going to be honest, I didn't read the books. Even the book that this is based on, the what is that book called? It's not called House of Dragon. I think it's called Dance of Dragon. Or I actually looked it up and I just that quickly forgot what it was, but it doesn't matter. The book that this is being adapted from, I didn't read it. Didn't read the other books. I did watch a lot of Game of Thrones. I didn't watch all of that last season. I did start doing recaps when things started to get a little bit nutty. But yes, and you know what? That's why you should subscribe. You know why? Because I'm at least going to be honest with you. I'm not going to pretend to be some know-it-all who goes to a wiki. Not me, not this guy. So honestly, I'm giving you the point of view of someone who's kind of sort of in the dark. I don't remember a whole lot about Game of Thrones outside of the Red Wedding, the dragons, a lot of inappropriate things that happen. Yeah. But if you are not new here, even if you are new here, please hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. So where the heck do I even begin with this? This happens after the book, which, you know what? I should really just live look this up, right? It's called Fire and Blood. And yes, I did look it up in real time like that. But this happens after that. This is literally a 300-year history book about the Targaryens and everything that happened with them. The king, I think his name was Aegon. I think his name King Aegon. So much. So, you know, the thing about this show, I'm not big on gore or grotesque things because we do get to see people get their hands cut off. A guy gets his head chopped off, and I'm pretty sure they stabbed a dude's prostate or testicles. Don't know what area that was. I don't even know if they threw it on a stump, but it's very disgusting. As a matter of fact, oh yeah, if you didn't read the title, there will be spoilers in this. Or even the point where the queen... boy, that's you saw that part coming from a mile away, where the queen's womb is ripped open. They don't show all of it in order to save the child that still died. My goodness, I wasn't squeamish on the part when the guy was getting, his prostate stabbed, but boy, oh boy, when that happened and the king chose poorly. Because if my memory serves me correctly, she had 2 miscarriages, 2 stillborns, and 2 stillborns, 1 miscarriage, and 2 pregnancies that didn't go to full term. Outside of the daughter, I think her name was Rhaenyra, that is it's there. Rhaenyra, she's alive. Boom. But the king wants a son. Why? Because traditionally a woman has never sat upon the Iron Throne in King's Landing. As a matter of fact, when he was chosen 10 years ago, before his reign, it was between him and another heir. I cannot remember her name, but she is a she. She's actually married to the one black guy we see in this entire show. Don't know if those are their kids, if those are their black children, but yeah. But I like the political intrigue thing. So, those of you who probably know me personally, I like Dungeons and Dragons. I've DM'd several times. I've played as a player maybe twice. But boy, oh boy, I like the little political intrigue in here. It's one of the things I actually like when it comes to certain animes like Gundam or what is the show with Lelouch? Code Geass. I like the little political intrigue and seeing how people are moving around. So interesting. That part is cool. The whole night part where all of a sudden they just break out into all out violence, like murdering folks. In the House of Coal, that guy made the prince, played by Doctor Who's on Matt Smith. What doctor is he? The 11th Doctor, of course. Matt Smith playing Prince Daemon, which I gotta be honest with you. Daemon, the name Daemon is the most regular sounding name in here. Then you have Queen Aemma, may she rest in peace. Some of these names, you guys gotta forgive me because the most common names are like Otto and Damien. And that's the most easiest thing for me to remember. And it's funny because Damien and Otto don't like each other. Damien is of House Hightower, which is funny because I didn't realize during the jousting part that he was part of House Hightower, if that's what they're called, because he chose his guy for the joust. This whole jousting thing is to celebrate the heir being born, because whatever it is with the Targaryen family, when they have these dreams and they're deep, vivid vision dreams, they tend to happen. But I don't know if don't remember this king's name. I don't remember him, but I'll just call him Papa King. Papa King, he had a dream of his son being born with the Iron Crown on his head and sitting on the Iron Throne and all of that. And he even has some type of sickness issues of his own. He has this lesion that will not heal. They had to cauterize it. And funny enough, he cut his finger on the Iron Throne after he more or less exiled his brother, Prince Daemon. Prince Daemon was supposed to be the rightful heir since the king cannot produce a son. Or he can make his daughter, Rhaenyra, his firstborn, his heir. One guy on his council was against it. The black guy seemed to be against it, although he was for Damien being in charge until the option of changing, because he thought maybe his wife should do it. And Otto, and how we got here is Otto set up just the death of the queen and yet another child that has perished. It's basically sent everyone to a spiral. It's so sick because Otto even sent his own daughter to be of comfort, almost a consort to the king. And instead of selling her body while wearing one of her dead mother's dresses, she said the one thing she wanted people to say to her when her mother passed away was, "I'm sorry that this happened to you." And that's what she offers to him. It very much looks like Otto is positioning himself. He wants to be the guy next to the guy and feel like he has all the power. And I'm not gonna go into this. Since this is my first time doing this, I'm gonna save all my predictions for later. But yes, Otto is something else. His buttons are easily pressed by Damien, who even brings up the fact that he hasn't remarried. Matter of fact, let's talk about Damien. Damien is married to a woman of the Vale as part of a treaty. And it turns out, and I'm very much okay with how they explain things that have happened, because there's no book for this, right? Excuse me, there's no book for this. This is apparently because of Otto, Damien has moved from position to position. One where it came to the being the treasurer, and he said he couldn't be trusted. That one coming to another one where he was dealing with something in the Vale, and now he was in charge of the City Watch, which is why one of the best lines in the show is he said King's Landing will learn to fear the color gold. He turned those City Watchers into his hounds, and they seem very loyal to him. That's a little thing I think is going to stay into play later. But yeah, that massacring, and the one person that has his back is his brother, Papa King. And after the whole entire death of the queen and the son, and that part that made me squeamish, as soon as the son was born, I'm like, that kid ain't crying. Pretty sure he's gonna die. kid dies. One thing that Damien does make a point of saying, brother, we all mourn in our own way. He was out with his city watch at one of the pleasure houses, and as a matter of fact, Mr. Otto sent word to Old Town. And this, I'm glad they made a point of showing this. Dude was set up. I don't know if he was set up by his whore lady, the one who he normally picks when he's there. And of course, they had a sex scene with him in it, and he's all frustrated and he's worried about his position in X, Y, and Z. But he's still the heir. She wants him to cheer up. So while one of his friends is getting literally fellatio, when one of his guards tells everyone to shut up and listen, there's people sexing and drinking and everything. And he makes a speech. And apparently in his speech, he said to the son's name that passed was Balon, which is funny enough because one of the ancestors of the Targaryens is Balinor. But Balon, heir for a day. This is the thing that set off Papa King. And Papa King is not without his faults. They made it very easy to not really care about him, given that he was so hungry to have a male heir. When one of the I can't call them midwives, one of the medicine men, I suppose, I'm not good with medieval terminology. I don't really care about medieval stuff. I prefer the feudal era of Japan, if we're going to be honest, or anything that has to deal with Egypt. But whatever the proper term for that guy is, medicine guy, whatever, said, you're either going to lose both of them or we can save one or the other. We can save the kid. We can cut open her womb, take the kid out, but blood loss is going to kill her. Or we can save her. And dude's like, we can save the kid. That's all he cared about. It's very easy to not give a damn about him. It's very sad that he told his wife that I love you when you really didn't love her. And it's very sad that King Aemma, one of her last conversations with her daughter on screen, was about this being the duty, her duty being to produce an heir and to be pregnant all the time. It seems to be a very difficult pregnancy for her, being that the king had to be pulled from the jousting tournament to this sad sight. Just boy, oh boy. Acting was really good from everyone. If I have to talk about that, acting was done very well. But boy, oh boy, they did a good job of making me uncomfortable. Apparently, it's very obvious that this is a kingdom that is already fallen to ruin. After King Aegon, I'm pretty sure you Game of Thrones people are going to correct me and be upset with me, but whatever. After the king lost two of his sons and we had to go through this whole process of getting proper heirs and having a council choose, seems like we are watching a kingdom that is already fallen into descent. There's really no two ways about it. Princess, soon to be future queen, Rhaenyra, her and Alicent seem to be the only ones that are actually likable. And Alicent is Otto's daughter, the one he sent to comfort the king. And Rhaenyra, man, her whole thing, she just wants to ride her golden dragon. She has a golden dragon, ride it with her friend Alicent and just see the world. She does not care about any of this stuff, but you get the feeling that has happened to her, and she has lots of it seems like she had deep-seated hatred over the family name, because she was making sport of the books. I think the name of the person might be the Septus, and she made sport of the book by ripping it in half. Her friend Alicent was growing very tired because Rhaenyra was like, so-and-so was married to King something. You have to know the history. For them, for the Targaryens, the history is everything. The history is everything for one reason. I'll get to that in a second. But the history is everything. She knew the name. She knows all the names. She knows this stuff. It's just utterly sad that now she is in charge by default. When the king was, what's the term? Throwing good money out for bad, putting his wife through all that, killing his wife for another stillborn dead child, and now he's without queen, he's without son, and his heir was literally there the whole time. One of the it's very the deep political part when they called him in the middle of the night without his brother being there, without someone else being there that need to be there, and their whole thing of look, we gotta discuss this heir thing. We don't want Damien in, and Damien's just listening behind. It's kind of like a wall thing, but he's just listening to the whole thing. His brother, he knows his brother, Papa King, has his back. Which, when Papa King had to exile, looked like he was very hurt. But his brother flat out said some hard truths. Told him he's weak. Damien told him he's weak. Your council are leeches, and they will turn on you. And he sees Otto for what he is, and he calls him a cunt. Pardon my language. I'm just repeating it. But yeah. But back to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra seems to have a good relationship with her uncle. He brings her back some Valyrian steel necklace. It's very, very, he puts it on her. They speak in whatever native tongue they speak in. Even when it was time for the funeral pyre, for her to call her dragon down to burn the bodies, he even told her, stand by your father. He needs you more than ever. She's like, I hope his whole, him getting the heir that quickly, I hope he was satisfied with. And he's like, hey, come on, just go on, right? It seems he genuinely cares for his niece. I hope that doesn't change. Now, this is Game of Thrones. Don't get too attached to anybody. This death is cheap. And there's loyalty is very, very thin and few and far in between. So I really do hope by the end of this story that it doesn't come to brother, uncle betraying niece. I can see brother killing brother though, because boy, did he make a mistake by exiling his brother. Because the way I see it, the way I'm thinking, I wouldn't trust that council either. Now, let's go into some predictions here, because I think I've spoken about every character that is very important anyway. I couldn't even remember the black guy's name. His name's Corlys, I think. I was going to call him Cornelius. We're just going to call him Cornelius for right now. So here's predictions. I got 4 of them. 1, who's going to be a traitor? Obviously Cornelius. It's so easy to see Cornelius as a traitor, because it looks as if he's for anything that is of the downfall of Papa King. He's okay with the City Watch being as ruthless as they are. He's kind of went to back for Daemon, while the others are like, Daemon's gonna cause ruin. He's like, no, Daemon's cool. It seems like he knows Daemon is full of crap at times. A lot of times he's very violent. It seems like violence is the main thing of these Targaryens. Last season, last 2 episodes. But yeah, I also think Otto, it's very clear that Otto is that he is that groupie, He is that groupie that is going to try to get everything he can out of the king. And one day he's going to try to usurp him, or usurp Rhaenyra. Who knows? I think there's a guy who said we shouldn't break 100 years of tradition by putting a girl on the throne. It feels very, very obvious that guy will probably eat shit somewhere down the line. And did the princess whore lady betray him? We don't know who person from Old Town that was there, and she did want him to make a speech. It could be a red herring. Who knows? Speaking about red, the prince is a dragon. By the way, these are wyverns. All wyverns are dragons, but not all dragons are wyverns. So these wyverns, dude has this red wyvern that has webbed legs, kind of like glider legs at the bottom. Looks like almost a Quetzalcoatl, the dinosaur, not the mythological deity, but yeah, looks like a Quetzalcoatl. Thing looks super gnarly, and he took his consort whore lady with him. So pretty sure his wife, who doesn't really care about him, so he says, is gonna be happy to see her. No idea how that's gonna be, but as far as the start, from a person like me, who I don't really watch a lot of stuff like this, I was very, very engaged. This very easily gets a 4.5 out of 5 from me, because I don't read these books. Barely remember what happened for a lot of what happened in the last season. Do remember Littlefinger though, and Cersei, and that a-hole Joffrey. But for a person, there are people like me who are coming into this. Some people don't even probably join the Game of Thrones hype super late. People who probably didn't care, but they say, hey, I'm gonna give this a try. It was pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this political intrigue, but I'm also hoping that there are more easier names so I can try to remember some of these people. It's just crazy that I can remember Alicent, Rhaenyra, Daemon, Otto, and Don Cornelius. Don't even remember the king's name. Oh, I think his name is V. Starts with V. Varys? Virial, first of his name, whatever. But you guys get what I'm saying. 4.5 out of 5. But let me know what you guys think of the episode. Those of you who were burnt before, are you willing to stay in the House of Dragons? Can you handle the heat? I'm gonna handle it just for you. Don't forget to hit that like button. We're trying to show other people. It gets the video out there and other people can see what a great time we're having. If you enjoy hearing better quality sound and hearing my dulcet tones, please comment that as well. As always, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified of more videos just like this one. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to give you guys more. As always, feel free to share the video, show other people what a great time we're having. I love a good discussion. Just be civil. As always, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask out there, you all. Be safe. It's crazy out there. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, do not be a jerk. And remember, you're never alone. There's always somewhere out there who believes in you, who cares for you. Don't ever give up. Until next time, this is Shane signing off.